I had a call yesterday with a client. This was with the C-suite at the credit union. And we were talking about coaching and the coaching regimen at their credit union. I'm going to be embarking on some one-on-one coaching with the next two levels down in the organization. And one of the C-suite leaders referenced something that I've heard hundreds, if not thousands of times over the years. He said, well, Paul, I don't really have a regimen per se. He said, because my door is always open. People can come to me at any time if they need help. Okay, that's fine. I understand the sentiment behind that, but there's two fundamental issues with that approach. Number one, it's totally reactionary, all right? It is waiting for that individual to have a problem or have a need or get behind or be challenged with something that maybe you could have prevented or you could have anticipated. But even if not, one-on-one coaching with your people is as much about being proactive as it is being reactive. In fact, I would say it's far more about being proactive. It's planning for the future. What's coming? What do we need to anticipate today that might happen a month or 6 months from now? Or, hey, what do we need to do bigger, better, or different with our strategic plans and or our tactical plans? Or, hey, what about you and your development and what do you want to be better at and so forth? All of those things are being proactive. They're not being reactive. And that's really a fundamental thing that we want to make sure we address in our one-on-one coaching, okay? Here's the second reason why I don't like that my door is always open approach. I would imagine that you have or have had at least one direct report who's relatively new to their coaching and leadership position. Well, being new, there's two concerns about that. Number one, how do they know when they're underwater or when they're feeling pressured? They may be thinking, well, this is just the way the job is. I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to work 60 hours a week, et cetera, et cetera. And then at some point, they're going to be so far underwater that it's going to affect their performance and it's going to come up in the performance review. And all of a sudden, you're going to be like, well, maybe we made the wrong decision putting this person in the job. In other words, they don't know what they don't know. And so they don't know when to come to you and say, I need help, or I'm feeling underwater, etc. All right, that's the first issue with that part of it. The other part of it is, I would also imagine that you have some leaders whose personalities are the type where they're going to say to themselves, I'm not asking for help. I'm in charge here. I'm getting paid the big bucks now. I got to deal with this. I got to handle it on my own. And besides, I don't want my boss knowing that I can handle it and that maybe he or she made the wrong decision in putting me in this position. So we really have to think about those types of personalities because, well, they may come to you sheepishly at some point and have to say, you know what, we're not going to meet that deadline. Now it really looks bad on them, right? When if they had come to you 3-4 months ago and said, hey, I'm not sure about our progress on this and whether we're going to meet the deadline or whatnot. What do I need to be doing different? You could have coached them and you could have helped them with additional resources or knowledge, etc. So anyway, a few reasons there to really check yourself when you talk about the my door is always open mentality. I know it's well-intentioned, okay? But there are some pretty severe negative consequences to relying too heavily on that approach, that leadership mentality.